Being social is a great weapon to have, and they give you such a big unfair advantage that most people don't even see it and they don't use it at all. And I've noticed that quite a lot in the recent years, that having the social skill, it's such a great tool to have around you as a young person, as a young man, because it gives you so many things, so many opportunities, it gives you access towards things that you may never knew that you could get if you just said a simple hello, pretty much. And in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 points in where why being social gives you such a great tool to use and an unfair advantage. Number one, social skills are a leverage, not a personality. And most people believe that being social, either you have to be an extroverted or being liked. That it's far from the truth and very wrong. Being social gives you access towards so many things that you don't even have idea. It gives you access to information, it gives you access to people and to opportunities. And I believe that's so great because it gives you such an unfair advantage towards things. Like, you don't get to wait any longer towards things. You notice them, you take action towards them, and you get a reward back. You don't have to wait, you don't have to plan so much anymore. You just simply pretty much just have that unfair advantage towards things. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is such a great thing because when I've noticed that being a little social just gave me a little bit of access towards the smallest of things, it made me think, oh my God, wow. Just because I did something that tiny, it really helped me out. It literally did. And I have so many stories in which I could share with you because I've just been a little social and I went around and talked to people. But then this video will be too long, so I will share some a little bit later, not right now. But generally, this is far, very much so true. Number two, isolation is a modern trap. There's a lot of people out there in the world that aren't necessarily antisocial on purpose. They just have that isolation that gives them comfort. And because they have the phones, the routines, the silence, staying in your place and just not doing pretty much anything, don't make any pretty much feeling like the embarrassment of trying your hardest to maybe have a little chat with somebody. They just feel like it's just better to just stay in their right place and don't talk to nobody and don't make any effort towards really building a connection with somebody that you don't really know at all and you're afraid of trying. But that is bad because it makes you invisible. And invisible people don't get access, they don't get opportunities towards what they really want. They miss them, actually. They wish they could get them, but they can't because they believe it is better to just stay home, not do anything, and just pretty much staying on their chair playing some video games on their laptop or whatever, or on their PlayStation or whatever and so on. And they feel better that way instead of putting in a little bit of effort and trying their best to socialize. And you miss those things because nobody sees you. And I don't believe that's great at all, because if you want to change things and to get things and stuff, you need to be a little bit more social and to go after the things that you want, because like I said, it's a powerful tool, and who doesn't want to have a little bit of that tool that can give them a little bit of access towards something, a key that can open pretty much almost any door to give you a place where you can get the things you want. And number three, small talk isn't small. Small talk isn't meaningless. It is actually an entry point, because out of something that you did small, something like a simple hello. It started off as a small thing, but a small thing can turn out to be a great thing. And most things start small anyways, like a random question, a short conversation, and pretty much being at the right place at the right time. Because you don't need to be charismatic, really. You don't really have to be. You just need to be present at the right place at the right time. You just need to be present. Because presence, it's a strong thing. If you noticed, for example, something that's small in your area, you can start a small conversation with that person about that thing. And that gives you access towards so many things you don't have no idea. You have no idea at all. Sometimes, most opportunities don't just reveal themselves. They don't announce themselves. Sometimes, small conversations start something far more better and far more greater than anything. They are disguised as normal conversations, but in reality, they are something far more better and bigger. And I'm going to give you a story in which this happened to me recently, actually. And then I'm going to give you some other stories. So this recent story that I have is just because I was out and I asked a random question to somebody kind of I knew around the area before. I asked them, hey, where are you from? And they told me they're from Ukraine. I was like, ah, cool, I'm your neighbor. And they said, oh, I have a colleague who she is from Romania. I was like, oh, that's very cool. And then pretty much I said, I may come around and say hello. And then I did come around and I said hello and everything. And just because I said hello and I was being nice and I asked a small conversation, a small question, they were about to literally give me free food. Free food. Can you believe that? Like they were going to give me 2 free pizzas. And I said, no, thank you. I'll come another time and I'll grab them. I didn't want it to be rude and necessarily take them right now. But just because I asked one question and I was being nice and everything, that just opened a door to me for helping me maybe in the future if I ever need that, which we never know, right? We never know. And with that was literally, I was like surprised. It gave me like, oh my God, it's such a strong tool. Like, oh my God, so crazy. And another story in which this happened to me a couple of times is that just because I was out and about and I said hello to somebody, I was at the train station. And at the time, I didn't have my license. I have it now, but I'm still waiting for the car to get fixed up, which that doesn't much matter right now for the story. I was about to go home, and it takes me about an hour or so to get back home from the station to my house. 50 minutes to be exact. And then there was a couple of times when I said hello to those people and I was being nice and I knew them a little bit from the past. I said hello and all that. They asked me how I'm doing and everything. How are you getting back home? They said to me. And I said, well, I'm walking. And they said, I can take you with the car. I said, you don't need to do that. And I said, I know, but I want to. And I had so many of these times when I got driven back home just because I knew the right people. Knowing the right people gets you a bit more further in life, and it makes your life far more easier. It's like playing a little bit on an easier mode in life. So being social gives you a whole lot of opportunities that you have no idea at all. But the thing is, being social here in Norway, it's a little difficult because Norway is very quiet. Nobody really wants to talk to each other. Seeing somebody who is social here is quite rare because everybody's in their place. They don't want to talk. They don't do all that, nothing. The only time people are really social here is during nightlife, during nighttime, when they're drinking and they have fun in the bars and part in clubs and stuff. In which, to me, that's not my place. I don't like going out in clubs and all that. I do like going sometimes in the bar with my friends only, or just have a little drink outside and stuff. But there isn't much to do here. There isn't much social life here. And I don't want to say anything bad, but it's just not great. But if you can go through that little moment of guess embarrassment, we can say, and talk to somebody, then 100% you're gonna get something back. There's times you don't, but there's a bunch of moments when you do. And I think leveling up your social skills, you should do that. It doesn't take much. You just need to be present at the right time, at the right moment, in the right place. It can be pretty much anything. You can be at I don't know, waiting at the store to buy something, and then you just say hello to this person, and then they give you a ride back home, or they tell you you should hang out, and then you hang out, and then even more things get opened up after. So to pretty much end up this, it doesn't take you much. You just have to use it at moments. It doesn't take that long. You just need to push yourself up a little bit, open up a little bit, and just notice the patterns and things that you can have an open conversation with pretty much anybody at any time and anywhere. And to wrap this up, social skills are a great tool to have. They give you an unfair advantage towards things you need in your life. Access towards things that you'll never know you may have needed them at any point in your life. That is all for this video. Thank you for watching. My name is Maximus, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care and peace out.